All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another community sync for PWA Studio. So today we have just a few quick updates on our side, and then we have a few special guests here with us, with Josh from the Modli team, and then the team from Itegration, Ferenc and Martin, who are going to give us a look into a project that we've been really excited about for a while now, and we're still super excited about. So we want to get to that as quickly as possible. So to start off, we had a couple weekends ago, we had the Global Contribution Day event. It went really well on the PWA Studio side, and we're super happy with the engagement we saw there, some of the contribution we saw there. And so we have Tommy with us, who's obviously our team representative for a kind of community engagement, to talk through that event and how it went. And so Tommy, yeah, take it away.
Hey, thank you, Andrew. So as he mentioned, this was like a couple weekends ago now, since we didn't have an community sync last week. We did not get that update, but Global Contribution Day was a huge success. I think something along the lines of like 100 PRs, maybe more than that, at least 100 came through. There were, I think, over like 600 different issues worked on, maybe not all of them completed. But on the PWA side, we had, I think, a total of 7 PRs contributed during Global Contribution Day. We had some engineers available throughout the day helping out. Chris, with the I-18N effort, made a ton of progress, created 2 PRs for like against GraphQL schema changes, and just a lot of effort put in there. But a lot of success. We started processing these PRs this week, so like anything, we just got to fit these into our process and get them to the queue. But a lot of good bugs, a lot of new features came out of Contribution Day, and it was a lot of fun. So if Magento does decide to do that in the future, and you are interested in dipping your toe into contributing to PWA Core, is a perfect time to do it. But it was great. I think that's all I have. Any questions?
Great. Thanks, Tommy. So, so yeah, like Tommy said, we're really looking to, and we've talked about it over the last couple of meetings, but really looking to obviously increase, the engagement with the community, increase the opportunities for developers out there to contribute back to the project. And on that note, we have another update here. So Lars, who is on the call, and I'm sure you guys have seen around, whether it's in the Slack channel, on these calls, in the GitHub repo. Lars recently, we have added to the group of community maintainers for PWA Studio, and by the group I mean it's now Lars and Jordan. So we've doubled the resources for community maintainers, obviously to help not only because of I think what Lars has contributed to the project from not only his sorting features but some bug fixes and things like that, but obviously to help us alongside this effort to increase that engagement and contribution. So quick golf clap for Lars, who's now a community maintainer for PWA Studio. And Lars, if you have anything you want to say, feel free to jump in here. Otherwise, we can.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy if I can help you or I can help the community with questions, or if somebody have any questions, or yeah, I'm very happy to help people. Thank you.
Thanks, Lars. So
I want
that
to
is
say,
it. Go ahead, James.
oh, I just wanted to say thank you to Lars. Lars has been incredibly energetic, and I've tried to help where I can, and sometimes I have not been very responsive to you, Lars. You have shown so much patience and have done so much good work. So thank you now for what you've done and in advance for what you will continue to do. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Um, okay, so that is it for our kind of internal updates, and now we get to the most exciting part of our call today. So like I said before, we have the team from Modli and Integration here. They're really going to take some time to walk through their project, give us an intro of Modli of Itegration, the work they've been doing. And so we're excited to have them on the call today, and I'll just turn it over to you guys to run with it. We have Martin, do you want
Okay.
to kick us off, or Josh?
I think Josh
Okay.
will talk, and Ferenc mostly, so I just listen.
Hi, how you guys doing? So, a small introduction. I'll also share my screen so I can show you a short slide here. So I'm the co-founder of Modli, and we decided to move over to PWA approximately 4 months ago, and we came to Itegration with a very short timeline that we want to go live ASAP from Magento 1 to Magento 2, launch a full marketplace with a high product count, over 50,000 products and duplicating yearly, a bunch of websites, multi-currency, multi-language. We wanted full page builder support. We wanted an elastic DB for the GraphQL to really have a very high performance, React skeletons, layered navigation, and a bunch more. And they've done an amazing job. They pretty much completed the job. Now we're just uploading the content and hopefully going to go live in the next week or two with our main site. We've already gone live with the Canadian site. Let me introduce Ferenc to actually explain, I guess, the technical side that they've done to get this project live. They've done an amazing job on it. And we're proud, yeah. We're proud of our new site. So I guess Ferenc, you'll take it from here. Maybe I'll show you like a minute or two just so kind of you can see the website. So this is the current site. We're still working on the content, but
Josh,
they were able to pretty much.
you are currently, we see a blue screen because you have to move
You see a blue
side
screen.
to this screen. Yeah, it's probably Mac because you only share the one window you
Could be.
started to share.
How about
You
now?
probably have to reshare. Still the presentation.
Still the presentation. Okay.
Let me share my screen and I can show the site as well. So it's I think it's easier.
Okay.
Good old Windows.
Okay. Ferenc, the ball's at your
So
side.
okay, and you can add a few words, Josh, if you want to, and I can go into the technical details. So let me start. So this is the site is multi-currency and multi-microsite setup. Right now we are live with the Canadian site only, and the main technologies we use here is Elasticsearch. We use it a lot, and I will explain it later. We also want to utilize some other services like Fastly, and we are progressing with SEO step as well. I think a lot of you are familiar with this, and we use the traditional traditional PWA setup with Fallback Studio too. So it's we started right away with Fallback Studio, and we are quite happy with it. So we and of course PWA Studio, it's we are started with 5.0, and again it was a joy for us to work with it. A lot of features were missing, and we had to add some of the features, but overall the development experience is very good. All the developers enjoyed working with that. So coming back to the site, so what you see here is the home page. One of the requirements from George was that he wanted to use the page builder as much as possible for obvious reasons, because page builder helps a lot for the marketing team, and you can accomplish everything with a single tool. So we started to use Page Builder for individual blocks here. So this top block is built with Page Builder with CMS blocks. The page main content itself is a CMS page, all built with Page Builder, and the footer is built with Page Builder as well. And we use the third-party extensions Uber Menu. It's worked quite well out of the box. So that's about the home page. So what's really interesting, and it was a main part of the project, is a category page. So we wanted to make this site and filtering fast, not only for the basic category pages, but also the filtering experience. So it's Varnish can be very useful in most of the cases, but when it comes to filtering, you just cannot cache all the filtering option combinations. So it would be quite difficult to do that. So we decided to utilize Elasticsearch in a way that we replaced the GraphQL engine of Magento in a way that we created a PHP endpoint which connects to the Elasticsearch directly and pulls all the data is indexed. Is not only the text data and the product themselves, but all the filters, everything is indexed in Elasticsearch. And we parse the GraphQL query directly. We built our own small GraphQL engine and query Elasticsearch directly and return the same GraphQL response as Magento would generate. But it's more faster, and it works for all the filter combinations. So it's starting to clicking through the filters, everything is quite fast. So I think that's the main customization we did. It's also backend and less front end, because everything we use the skeleton of what PWA Studio provides. So that was a trick, and it seems to be working very well. So the page load times are below 500 milliseconds, and we didn't have to modify the front end logic too much for that, because we use the same GraphQL queries. So here on the category pages, we added the swatches as well. So that's about the category pages, I think. The next interesting thing is it also was idea was coming from Josh to provide a very smooth and seamless user experience for customers who are navigating from the category page to the product page. So the idea we use is the bulk of the data that you want to present on the PDP page, or at least the most important parts of the information, such as the product image, product name, price, is already available on the category pages. So what we do is when we click on a product, then we use this information right away, because it's already there, it's available, and we start displaying the product, and we run a GraphQL query in the background and pull the missing pieces. And until then, we show the skeletons. So it's even as you can see for a few milliseconds, you can see the skeletons. And next time, if we go back to the same product, the product is cached, so it should be even faster. So we use caching and these small tricks whenever possible, and I think we managed to get to a very good user experience. So what we use here on the product page. This is a Nosto recommendation coming from a third-party recommendation engine. Nosto is one of the biggest, and so these recommendations are coming from Nosto as well. This part is coming from Nosto. We use page builder even here. So all these little pieces are page builder contents as well.
Maybe you can talk about Nosto as well, Ferenc, because Nosto is also coming through Page Builder as far as I know. So
So the trick here is that Nosto has some templates that can be configured on Nosto's admin interface. And they have some identifiers, and all these recommendations can have different logics based on user behavior and so on. And they have an identifier, and these identifiers can be inserted anywhere in the site or on individual pages through the page builder. So that's a very useful feature for the client as well, because it's otherwise if some change is needed, then they would have to create a ticket, and the developers should work on that and so on. But with this solution, it's very easy to change the logic on the front end. So that's Nosto, and we also have I think I should find some.
Maybe I'll add maybe I'll add one thing about Nosto. The way Nosto usually implements their recs on websites, traditional way, is that they inject their JS code and they inject the recs. And when we came to integration, and Nosto's been a long partner of Modli. We've been there with them now for 4 years. And when we came to integration with that solution, kind of saying, okay, let Nosto do their own job, they said it's not going to be the high enough performance. If we want to do it in high performance, we'd rather build the templates in React on the front end and only load the actual data from Nosto and use the API to do that. But in that case scenario, we weren't going to have the control that you have with the plain JS that Nosto offers out of the box. And then integration came up with a solution for that pretty much they allowed us to kind of put straight through the page builder, inject Nosto recs, but it's actually using the React components to show those recs in. And that's how it also keeps a very kind of high performance that we could show skeletons for Nosto recs. We could, they're pretty much using the on-site React components. And I think that what was so nice about that solution, there was a very smooth solution that was able to use a third party, but only get the data and not load all the rest of the stuff if it's the JS libraries and so on.
Yes, that's we have our own React component for Nosto, and we have our small page builder add-on as well. So it's and it works very well. Thank you, Josh. So the next custom feature is is the concept of multi-color bundles. These are just configure products within bundle products. So this is a bundle, what you can see now, and it has two options, and the individual product options are configurable products. And we use the default Magento functionality for that, but it's a real bundle product. We had to add some missing pieces to the current GraphQL, but it was not too complicated, and it works like that. So I think the items, let me find an item that is available.
So the goal of this from a business perspective is that clients can choose a whole set of items. There are, I think, even, George, correct me, but 3 or even 4 pieces of clothing that they can set together, and then they can put all of them with one click into the cart, and they can see the color under each other, how they fit.
Yep. So what we did this actually on Magento 1, we created something similar to this. What we saw was that we kind of created a mix and match swim line that was very popular, but people were having a lot of trouble kind of choosing the tops and choosing the different bottoms, because we had hundreds of tops and hundreds of bottoms. And with these kind of bundles, we were able to allow customers to choose together and actually also push up the average order value. And in M2, we just improved it. We added more features and more functionality to it, which was amazing. When we came to integration, we wanted support for all product types: grouped, bundle, configurable, simple, tier pricing, custom options, and a lot of the stuff weren't supported by default in PWA, and they've kind of added all that support for all the different product types. Fairness, if you go to the main swimwear category, you'll see all the bundles. We're still sorting the website, so it's going to take a week or two.
Yes, so another some small details. So we use skeletons where possible, so that also makes the user experience more seamless. So all these products are multicolor bundles. The different tops and bottoms. Okay, the card then. So actually, we when we started to build the card, we relied pretty much on what PWA Studio 5.0 provides. So we didn't actually created a separate card page, because it seemed that this sidebar mini cart is just okay for us. We only extended it, so we added no stove here at the bottom. We added some free shipping notification here at the top. We added the order summary. We had the store credit and coupon codes. So we just extended it, and as you can see, it's wider than a regular PWA Studio sidebar card, so that we can accommodate all these features and details. So check out. we did the same thing. So what you can see is facelifted version of the sidebar card. We did at the time we started to work on this. The Magento PWA Studio separate cart page was not available even as a pull request. So we just used what we had and extended the sidebar card. So what you can see here is actually a reskinned version of the sidebar card with all the functionality, and I think the user experience is acceptable or quite good.
The idea was to not give the opportunity for the client to navigate away from the cart page. So that was a request from Josh that we somehow create a full page version of it. So we just hid actually the whole page, we just hid behind it, and it seems like a cart page you cannot leave. Or a checkout page, sorry.
So yes, here comes a very interesting part. So we use Unity marketplace extension. So the products are coming from different vendors, and therefore the products are shipped from different warehouses. And this is a Unity functionality that provides shipping selection for all these different vendors. So the products are grouped by the vendor in the cart, and the customer has to choose between separate options. All these details are coming through GraphQL from the backend, and we modify the GraphQL here so that we can handle this. And right now we use Printy as a payment provider, and we managed to add PayPal as well here. Printy provides this option to add different payment options. So PayPal is one of them, so we implemented this. So that was the cart. We can move back easily from here, and we also have my account page here. I'm logged in, a very basic thing. So I have addresses, account information, address book, my orders. I don't have any orders yet. Store credit, and I can sign out. So that's it.
Maybe a few words about.
I'll add another thing that I think that's important. Sorry, I want to talk about one more thing. I think that we requested that Itegration has done. I think that's going to make our lives easier in the long term, and it was my marketing team really insisted on it, was to have have full data layers for Google Tag Manager with a lot of information, so we can do a full enhanced e-commerce, Google enhanced e-commerce integration, plus integrate all of our other marketing tags. So currently we have close to 20 different marketing tags. In our last website, we managed everything on the HTML level on the actual site without Google Tag Manager, and here we actually had Itegration do a full Google Tag Manager data layers, which allow us to send full Facebook tags for the product page, cart, checkout, AdWords, Criteo, Pinterest, and Bing, and all these other third parties that are currently running JS scripts. And what's the nice thing about that is that all these scripts only run once. They run in the first page load, and afterwards it's just kind of sending events based on the data layers. So it actually saves a lot of load time that we had in our M1 site, because we were loading every single one of these scripts. Even though it was asynchronically, we were loading every single one of those scripts every single page load.
Okay, as the challenge here was to sync all these async requests. So GraphQL, card GraphQL is async, and customer GraphQL and product GraphQL, and we have to figure out how we can wait for all these data to be collected and echo the data layers only when it's needed. So that was a challenge, but we used for this, we used the Peregrine a lot, and some built-in features already provided by PWA Studio. Maybe next time we can go into more details about this.
Okay, does anyone have questions maybe? Because now we talked a lot, and I've seen one question from Lars, which was already answered by me in the chat and by Ferenc as well during the demo. So if anyone has any other questions about what we did there.
I had a question about your built-in bundle products. So I didn't catch if you said that you used a third party to support that, or if you customized that yourself.
So we wanted to make it really simple for Josh. All the data is coming from Magento 1 side, and on Magento 1 there was a lot of customization on the front end side, but the back end was actually stock Magento. So we didn't want to customize Magento too much because the data was already there. So what we did, we just matched the individual configurable products which are already there, and did a trick on the front end side. So yeah, in the back end everything works the same way, and front end is, yes, it's heavily customized.
Okay, thank you.
No. You're welcome.
It's a default Magento bundle product that we're using to create those products in the back end.
Yes, I understand that. So the customizations are all on the front end, correct?
And somewhat on the GraphQL side as well, because the trick is some trick is done when we create the GraphQL for the product, we find the corresponding configurable products, and the swatches and the variants are collected from the configurable products so that we can display them. What the prices are coming from the individual bundle options. So that's a little bit tricky, but the goal was to make it easy to administer everything in the admin.
Okay.
And the data was already migrated from Magento 1 to 2, so we had to use the same data. So Modli team doesn't have to add all the thousands of different product connections between these, even more. It's I don't know, Josh, you can tell, but there are bundles where there are like 300-400 options, I think.
So yeah, we even have one with 800 options.
Sorry, go again?
We have even bundles that get up to 800 simples in that.
Okay. I've heard from a couple of other people that with particularly the bundled products, you have to have like some blank SKUs. So the number of or the number of products, shells have to match the number of products in the bundle. It's not possible to have a single SKU for a bundle. Is that actually the case? Have you run into that problem?
We don't have a single SKU in any of our bundles. All of our bundles have hundreds of SKUs, so I'm not sure how to answer that question.
So the bundle products are sort of containers, so they only are there to stitch the products together, and of course from database point of view, it is the bundle product that is added to the cart, but all the other information is coming from the individual products, or in our case from the corresponding configurable products.
Gotcha. That answers my question. Thank you.
All right. I have a quick question as well that I think will also be, I think, applicable to the wider audience here. I think obviously you guys have talked about in a few areas where you, customize, where you've added in functionality features where we kind of were lacking in PWA Studio, but we know that are in either active development or on the roadmap. So I think it would be great to hear from you guys your perspective now that you've obviously worked in it. How you plan to manage that going forward and whether you guys see that as a easy switch over to something that, for example, new cart and checkout as it becomes available in PWA Studio, right? Do you see that as being an easy thing, difficult thing, and kind of your plans for kind of managing it?
So we hope that it will be an easy change as on the backend side, the GraphQL part is already there. So I think one of the big advantages that we have to make changes. It's not a global change. If we have some features ready for the GraphQL, it can be reused in the front end. So I think that's a big advantage. It's like just we only have to change some pages or parts of the presentation layer. So I really hope that it will be very easy. So our plan is to wait for the final and mature version of the card page, for example, and only implement that in the front end. And based on our experiences, as the transition should be easy. It's much easier than with Luma, I think, because in Luma, the front end is more connected to the back end. So the separation of concerns is not so sharp. But with PWA, we have the data. We only have to change how it is presented.
And we kept, of course, an eye on all the developments you guys did and discussed some of these things even with your team. So we try to keep what we did aligned with what's coming from the PWA team. So that's also why we hope it will be easy to transition over.
And maybe another thing that helps us is using React components. So React components can be easily reused, and right now the Fallback Studio have that a lot, and probably in the future there will be other solutions or Magento. Maybe you guys come out with your own way to extend PWA Studio. But even that change should not be a huge one, because hopefully we will only have to reconfigure what we already have.
One of our front-end developers is also on this call, and he just wrote me. He doesn't like to speak in English, but he just wrote me. He thinks it's much easier to work with PWA Studio than with standard Magento front-end. Even this way that this is quite new for them, new experience. Even so, it's speedier. The development is much faster, and you understand it easily, and it's much easier and faster to work with it. That's what he just wrote.
And that is what we like to hear.
Overall, we are very happy with, and we also think that even the 5.0 version is quite stable. So we didn't really run into any major issues. So what's there is very stable and usable and extendable. So we love it.
Awesome. James, you were going to say something, but I also want to be conscious of time here. We have, I think, 2 minutes left of our time, and want to make sure that anybody else from the community that's on the call, if you have questions for the team here,
No,
Did you get an
I've told
opportunity to
them.
ask
I've
those?
told the Modli. I've told the Modli crew. I can call you that, right? I've told them privately how impressed I am. So I won't take up time now.
Thank you.
Great. So,
Sure.
any other questions from anyone on the call? Feel free to post it in chat. All right. So yeah, like James said, I think the effort from the Modli and integration team on this project has been really, really impressive. It's something that I think you guys set out and Josh set out with a very ambitious, project plan and an ambitious and aggressive timeline. And we've continued to be impressed by the progress that you guys have made and what you guys in the end have delivered. And so I think it's a really cool story for PWA Studio. It's a cool story for integration and Modli, right? Modli. Sorry, Josh, I keep saying Modli. And so I think I would be remiss, I guess, not to give you guys a quick golf clap on you guys' progress. And I think we're excited to look forward, and we look forward to you guys' future launches and hearing from you guys more on kind of your progress. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So that. Oh, uh, Lars said he likes the sort feature. Yeah. So that wraps up our call for today. So thanks everyone for joining. Thanks team from Integration Modli. Oh, God, I did it again. Modli, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks everyone.